So I like Vampire Survivors, and I mean I really like Vampire Survivors. But I also like Diablo 2. And Diablo 4 wasn't cutting it for me. There's just a lot that game needs to be doing right before I go back to it. So I found, thanks to Aslan Gold, I found Halls of Torment. And I really need to start playing this game between recording sessions. I really need to stop playing this game while I'm recording this. Halls of Torment is literally the new kid on the block. This might be the Survivor game of the year. It could be Vampire Survivor tier, but it's not there yet. And we're going to talk about that in a bit. Hello, my name is definitely not a box. And today we discuss a little bit on Halls of Torment, the new indie darling that seems to be blowing up in popularity. So Halls of Torment, it's quite simple. This is a survivor type game. As you can see, you move around and you kill things. You get level ups and you get stronger. You unlock characters, you buy equipment, you get achievements, and you make potions. We're gonna break down each one of these. You start off with the swordsman. Now he just swings and a cone in front of him. What he does is he hits everything there no matter what. So this is pretty good as a baseline to start the game. Shortly after him, you unlock Archer. Not him. He's too cool for this. You unlock Archer. This guy is not bad. I think he's like an A on a tier list, but we're not doing a tier list. Might later, but not now. After that, the characters you unlock can be in any order depending on what you do precisely. So the Shield Maiden has, well, a shield and a mace. Her mace does a lot of critical damage, but has a low crit chance. And her shield periodically attacks, knocking enemy back. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. After her, I got the Exterminator. I didn't know I wanted a dude with a flamethrower going through the depths of hell, but I got a dude with a flamethrower going through the depths of hell. I enjoyed this quite a lot. After that, we got the Cleric. Pretty decent, not bad, not great. But on single encounters, he destroys bosses. Honestly, this man will solo every fight, if given the chance. After that, I unlocked the Warlock. Now, this is probably the best class in the game, simply because you don't have to aim. These ghosts track hard, and the more attack speed you get, the better. And largely, you get a sorceress, or dwarf sorceress. Listen, this is a Star Wars reference. Look at it. It is a Star Wars reference. She just chain lightnings everything, and the more attack speed you get, the better. Let's move on to achievement / quest. Every achievement can be attained. Now this game has a lot, and I mean a lot of achievements. 201 to be exact. That is a little too much, but whatever. It is all doable. Look at this. You gain bonus experience from doing quests. This is amazing because you're gonna want to be higher levels, especially when you want to reach level 100 with some of these characters, which is mandatory to 100% this game. Every character, every stage has their own achievement list. You even have general milestones you can just do while playing the game. For example, buy a certain amount of items, level a certain amount of times, or land a certain amount of crits. Pretty basic things that will just get done as you play the game. As you can see to the left and the right, we got two other characters. They're benders, and we will talk about them in a bit once we go through the stages, because you unlock them as you progress through the game. So you pick the swordsman because that's the first character you got. You go through the first stage and you're playing it. One thing you're going to want to focus on, generally speaking, is damage, speed, some pickup range, but more importantly, HP and HP regeneration. You're also going to want to pick up anything that increases your range of your damage. So if it makes your attack spear or cone wide, pick it. If it makes you reach farther, pick it. For the most part, you can ignore defense and block, though you do need them for some achievements, which, again, everything you do is an achievement. Like collecting damage upgrade 5 times, that's an achievement. Whether you win or lose, and you will lose, you unlock the Archer after you kill a certain amount of enemies. And that's how you progress through the game. The more you do, the more achievements you unlock, the more achievements you complete, the more stages you get. As you progress through the stage, you will defeat elites, and the elites drop 2 things. One being a scroll. This scroll gives you powers or abilities. Literally, I don't know how you describe it, it's just skills or whatever. There's a bunch of different ones, but they all augment how you do damage, or they just add to it. So you can shoot stuff, lasers, you can summon lightnings, shoot lightning balls, fire waves, spinning blades of doom, etc. The second thing the bosses drop, or the elites drop, is a chest. This chest contains 3 items. You can only pick one, and this is how you increase your equipment. This is a way to increase your character's stats and also augment what they can do. There's a pair of boots that lights the ground on fire. There's a ring to summon skeletons, and stuff like that. This is pretty good because you can go out into any stage with a certain loadout and actually be well prepared for the challenges ahead. Now let's talk about the benders. I hate this bald and fat piece of shit. I hate it. Listen, second stage is pretty hot. Look at this area. Red, magma, the ground's literally on fire. Alright, I get it. He's here, he should be losing weight, he should be sweating, but he's not, whatever. It's hell. It doesn't make any sense. He asks us to save him, so we do. We find a key to his cage, unlock it, he's out, skippity gone, boom. Back at the main hub, he tells us he'll do us a favor for saving him. See this well? He'll send that bucket down when we go down there, and he'll retrieve an item from us. This is huge. This is how you unlock items. So we do it. We send an item up from the bucket, and then he charges us money for it. We just saved you from hell, my guy. And you're gonna charge me money for this. You're not asking for a cheap amount. You're asking for a good money. You're asking for a run. What are you doing? Like, luckily, we can't murk this guy, but I wish we could. I wish we could. Like, we should just get this for free. That being said, I understand why we have to buy from him. Because this way, the game economy gets balanced. You have gold, and gold is used to upgrade your character's stat at home base through the upgrade tab, which has HP, defense, attack, what you expect from an upgrade tab, and you have a shop, which is him. Sadly, you have to supply the demand he's asking for. It's weird. I don't like doing all the work and then having to still pay for it. That's how I feel about the situation. The second bender is actually pretty cool. He wants you to find plants around hell, which is odd, but every time you pick a plant, you gotta watch out because there'll be a bunch of green boys showing up, but they ain't a threat. If you got to this point in the game, you can take on anything. He gives you potions, and these potions can re-roll what you level up, which is pretty useful because sometimes you just get trash rolls. He can make it so the effects is double, giving you a massive early game power spike. He also gives you a potion that lets you lock in a certain selection. So let's say you get 2 good rolls, but you want to take them back to back. That's the potion for that. And lastly, if you don't want to see defense ever again, he just destroys it for you. That's pretty good. That's fantastic. I like this guy. The one problem here is that you also need to supply him with the bottles. Okay, cool. How do we do that? Through the well. So you have to now juggle items and bottles on the well, and you only take one at a time, just one per run, which is a bit annoying, especially since this man also makes you pay for the bottles. I swear to God, save yourself some time. As soon as you see this upgrade for gold on your upgrade tab, max it out. You're making a lot more dough. Trust me, 50% is a lot in this game. And that is pretty much the game. You might have noticed I've only shown you 3 areas. That's because there is only 3 areas in this game. And this is where we're going to talk about some negatives of Halls of Torment. There isn't much here, but this game is really well made. Everything here adds to itself. The more achievements you do, the more levels you get, because that system is tied. You get bonus experience. Without the shop, air quotes here, shop, you would easily max your character's upgrades tab, so there wouldn't be much for you to do after you upgrade them. Achievements get you to play certain characters and certain stages so you can get more experience. And this guy over here aids you in making you have an easier time in the dungeons or in hell. And that's really about it. Now it's fun, it's addictive. I mean, if this is anything to go by. Now it's addictive because, well, you can upgrade all your powers. You can upgrade your weapon drastically. You can start destroying. You get that power fantasy. And what we got here for $5 is enough. But I think I want more, simply because I was spoiled by Vampire Survivor. Like, I hear this game be compared to Vampire Survivors on the Reddit. And that's an issue because it puts a little certain amount of expectations on it. Developer, Chasing Carrots, that's a really good name for a Survivor type game. That's a really good name. Damn, that's on the nose. But developers, what I believe you guys should be doing now for this game to increase the longevity of Halls of Torment is Add in more characters. Give us a free update that gives us a map and maybe a few items to chase. Fantastic. After that, push the production of this game for more levels, more items, more characters, more achievements, more potions maybe. Because right now this game is booming. The Steam charts are not lying. This game is on the upswing. People are loving it. And I believe that if you want to be a 10 out of 10 survivor type game like Vampire Survivor, you should add a little more. You should put way more. Now, I know if you guys want to stop here, you could. You're justified. This is an 8 out of 10 easily by. If you love Diablo 2, if you love Survivors, go for it. But given that it has so much attention to it, I believe that it will behoove you to put more into this game. Give us a free update or a bunch of stuff, and then some paid DLC, and you'll be fine. Because there's a lot of eyes on it, and don't let that go to waste. Most developers will kill for their level of attention that you guys have, and you should push this momentum moving forward. That's all I really have on Halls of Torment. Before I end the video, I ain't gonna talk about general tips and tricks that it's good to know about this game. On the first stage, please follow the trails of blood, and the first boss will be a lot easier. It is okay to refund some upgrades in order to buy some items. It is always best to focus on one of your abilities than to focus on everything at once. Always take weapon proficiency no matter what. It's never a downside. Always have at least a 4 on movement speed, because some of these elites and even these bosses are literally gonna catch up to you and just touch you to death. That sounds wrong, but it's hell, so it's appropriate. Every power and ability has its usage. None of them are really bad, and they're all great when leveled. So just pick and choose your favorite ones and go about your day. One of my favorite and always a go-to one would be Trek Asphyxiation. Gives the warrior some range, much needed range. And Dragon Breath. Once upgraded, it can push enemy backs, and this is really important in the third stage. Lastly, make sure you at least check on the quest tab every now and then. A lot of things you could do to increase your levels in this game or your understanding of how the game works, it's just by reading these and doing them yourself. And that is Halls of Torment. I think the developers have a winner, especially with all this new attention drawn into this game. I think they got something. This game is an 8 out of 10. It ain't a 10 out of 10 survivor game like Vampire Survivor, but it's close, and they can get there. This has been Definitely Not a Boss, and have a good one.